Hi guys. Let's see. I'm back in Ohio. It's snowing today. It's April 17th, 2023. So, let's get going. We are on Chapter 30, and it's called, can you see it? Chickens and Eagles. I don't know what that's about. Alrighty. Upon the return of the academy, Tara and Griffin helped Taylor carry her purchases to her new room on the 3rd floor of the building, a beautiful, well-lit suite across the hall from Tara's. The room had wood floors with a thick Persian rug and 200-year-old antique French armoire across the room from her 4-poster bed. The room was much larger and nicer than hers at home, and had its own bathroom and walk-in closet. Taylor noticed that the windows did not open and were made of something other than glass. Tara had assured her that it was for her protection, not to keep her in, but Taylor still had her doubts. While she was thinking about where to put her new clothes, Tara walked in. Need any help? I'm just deciding where to put it all. Tara picked up one of Taylor's new skirts. I think we should share clothes, just for the fun of it. I've always wanted to do that, but no one here is my size. She turned back to Taylor. So, are you excited about your party tonight? I guess. You don't sound excited. I'm still homesick. Tara walked over next to her. I know, but once you get to know everyone, you'll feel a little better. Taylor sat on her bed. I don't know about that. I really just want to go home. Don't you miss your family? What do you mean? The family who adopted you. Oh, they're gone. Gone? Tara sat on the bed next to her. Well, I started coming to the academy when I was 6. I'd stay here all week, then sleep at home on the weekends. It was a good arrangement. Then, one day, there was an accident. My parents' house caught on fire, and they didn't get out. Fortunately, I wasn't there, or I probably would have died too. Taylor was stunned. That's horrible! Do they know what caused the fire? The fire department said it was an electrical fire. Ironic, huh? Taylor had a sick feeling about it. All the fun of the day drained away. She thought about the man visiting her house and talking to her parents. She hoped one day her house wouldn't catch fire too. What if it wasn't an accident? Tara squinted. What do you mean? Taylor saw the look on Tara's face and decided against pursuing it. Nothing, she said. So the state let you stay here? Fortunately, in the school contract, there was a clause that just in case something happened, Hatch received guardianship. I was so young at the time, I don't remember much. I've lived here most of my life. This is my family. That's why I'm so excited for you to join us. How many live here? 9, counting you. Well, Nichelle. Will Nichelle be there? Yeah, but just ignore her. That's what we all do. Tara started counting on her fingers. There's Quentin. He's the cute blonde. You'll like him. And he's a flirt. There's Brian. He's Puerto Rican. Big muscles, but he's really immature. Kaylee, who I love, she is my best friend until you came along. I think she might be a little jealous of you, but I'll give her some special attention tonight. Zeus, he's kinda cute, but I need to warn you that he kinda smells. But don't say anything to him about it. I don't usually tell people. They stink when I first meet them, Taylor said. Tara grinned. It's not really his fault. Because his electric makeup, he couldn't bathe without shocking himself. Anyway, he's really sensitive about it, Taylor nodded. Then there's Grace. She's really shy, so it will take a while before you get to know her. And there's Tanner. He's out of the country right now on an assignment. How many of us are there? There are 17 of us in the beginning, but there's only 13 of us left. And some of them aren't in the family. What do you mean left? Tara frowned. Don't worry about it. Taylor looked down. Hearing that 4 of them had disappeared scared her as much as anything else that had happened to her. Do they all have powers? She asked. Every one of them. What kind? All sorts. We don't really talk about that. I mean, of course we know, like Zeus can shoot electricity like lightning, Brian can burn through things, and Kaylee's like a magnet. Which means you don't ever give her your credit card because she ruins them. And everyone knows that Nichelle can too. But it's more of a gossip thing. Dr. Hatch says we don't talk about it because it's like in the business world. Employees don't talk about each other's paychecks because it causes problems. Tara glanced up at the clock on the wall. Is that really the time? I think so. She grabbed Taylor's hand. Come on, we can't be late. The girls hurried downstairs to the main floor. The other youths had already arrived and the dining room was loud with chatter. The dining rooms had been brought together to form one long rectangle, large enough to seat the whole family. Taylor and Tara were the last to arrive, and every eye followed them in. A handsome blonde boy stood as they entered and smiled at them. Wow, am I seeing double? I'm Tara, Tara said. And that makes you Taylor, he said, slightly bowing. I'm Quentin. I'm the student body president. Welcome to Elgin Academy. Hi, Taylor replied shyly. Thank you. Welcome to the family. He took her arm. Let me introduce you to the rest of the gang. That's Brian. Woohoo, Brian said, pumping his fist in the air. I'm number 1. He punctuated his claim with a loud belch. Number 1 dork, Quentin said. I told you, Tara whispered to Taylor. Immature. And that's Zeus. Zeus bobbed his head. Taylor noticed that he was seated with spaces between him and the others, and she remembered what Tara had said about his smell. That's Kaylee and Grace. Hi, Kaylee said testily. Grace looked at her, but said nothing. Quentin said to Taylor, Don't take it personally. Grace is a little shy. She's that way to everyone at first. He looked at Nichelle, who was sitting alone at the far end of the table. You've already met Nichelle, he said. Nichelle glared at Taylor. There's also Tanner, but he's out of the country. You'll meet him in a couple of weeks. Since you are the guest of honor, Dr. Hatch asked me to seat you at the head of the table. He will sit to your right. And Tara, Quentin said, Dr. Hatch requested that you sit on Taylor's left side. Whatever you say, boss, Tara said. Tara led her to the front of the table and Taylor sat down. Brian said, Hey, you guys look alike. We're twins, idiot, Tara said. You're such a dork, Kaylee said to Brian, rolling her eyes. Taylor looked around. She caught Zeus staring at her and looked away. She thought he was cute. A moment later, Dr. Hatch walked in the room. Sorry I'm late, everyone. I was just finishing up a call. He sat down at the head of the table. You've all met Taylor. I introduced her around, Quentin said. Thank you, Quentin. Now I expect you all to make her feel right at home. Where are you from? Kaylee asked. Idaho. Where's that? Kaylee, don't embarrass yourself with your ignorance, Dr. Hatch said flatly. Taylor said, Idaho's on the other side of Washington, above Utah, west of Montana. Thank you, Taylor, Hatch said. I guess I'll have to talk to Miss Marsden about her geography lessons. Hatch lifted a small brass bell next to his plate and shook it. Waiters immediately appeared with platters of food. The chef had prepared a remarkable feast, though Taylor wasn't very hungry after the lunch they had. The servers brought in trays full of beef Wellington, Yorkshire pudding, and roasted lamb with vegetables and potatoes. Taylor filled her plate, but mostly just picked at it and glanced back and forth at each of the others. Quentin was definitely in charge, and the most popular of them all. She guessed that Kaylee and Tara had a crush on him, and Zeus seemed jealous of him. Do you find the cuisine agreeable? Hatch asked her. Yes, sir. It's very good. It's not pizza, but hopefully it's easier on your stomach than the sushi. Yes, sir. I think you like the dessert as well. We're celebrating some favorable news we got out of the UK today, so everything's in English. In keeping with the theme, dessert is an English trifle. Yum, Kaylee said. Yum, yum, yum. You're such an idiot, Nichelle said. And you're an ugly psycho freak, Kaylee said. Ladies, Hatch said. Enough. Sorry, they both said to Hatch, but not to each other. When they had finished their meals, the waiters brought out the trifles, as well as cake, fruit, and pudding served in tall crystal chalices that looked like parfait glasses. This is delicious, Taylor said. Overall, I'm not a huge fan of English cuisine, Hatch said, but they do have some things right. As the group finished dessert, Hatch looked at his watch and again rang the brass bell. The head server immediately appeared. Yes, sir. Pour the champagne, please. Right away, sir. The server walked back into the kitchen and returned with a dark green and black teardrop-shaped bottle. He moved quickly around the table, pouring a small amount of sparkling amber liquid into each glass. Taylor had never tasted champagne before. She watched the bubbles stream upward in clean, bright lines. You drink champagne? She asked Tara. Tara smiled. Of course. We're treated like adults here. She leaned close to Taylor as if sharing a secret. Quentin told me this champagne is more than $3,500 a bottle. Taylor couldn't comprehend it. That's like $300 a glass, she said. Just then, Hatch rose from his seat. Ah, he said, sniffing his drink. What an aroma. A 1995 Klaus Albany, simply divine. He extended his glass in front of him. I'd like to raise a toast to the newest reunited member of our family, Taylor. Everyone lifted their glasses, including Kaylee, who hadn't said anything since Hatch's reprimand. To Taylor. May our dreams be her dreams, and may all her dreams come true. Hear, hear, said Quentin. Everyone began tapping glasses, except Nichelle, who just took a long drink. In honor of this special occasion and other good news, I have a very special treat. I have secured front row tickets for tonight's Colby Cross concert at the Staples Center. Everyone cheered. Colby Cross, Taylor said. She's my favorite singer. I know, Hatch said as he stood. So we'd better be on our way. The limos await. At Hatch's lead, everyone stood and followed out of the room, Zeus and Nichelle leaving last. As they climbed into the car, Taylor said to Tara, I can't believe we have front row seats to Colby Cross. I told you Dr. Hatch would take good care of you. You have nothing to worry about. Taylor sighed. It's just the way everything started. Being kidnapped was really scary. I know. I think he's trying to make up for that. Just keep an open mind, sis. You'll be glad you did. Taylor sat back into the leather seat, and for the first time since her abduction, she really smiled. Maybe Tara was right. Maybe what she'd read in Dr. Hatch's mind was false. After all, he'd been nothing but generous and kind. Maybe if her parents had known how well the students were treated, they would have wanted her to come. She didn't know what to believe anymore. Front row seats, she said again. It's just so hard to believe. Believe it, Tara said. It's your new life, Taylor. First class, front row, everything. A half hour later, the limos pulled into the front of the Staples Center and everyone got out. Once inside,